Hello, dear students. Welcome to our this session for Julius Caesar, Act 2. Let us start with Scene 1. Night still blanketed Rome. The storm of the previous evening had passed, but the air felt heavy, as though the city held its breath. In his garden, Brutus paced alone, unable to rest. Sleep had fled from him. His face was drawn, his eyes tired, yet his mind raced with thoughts too heavy to allow peace. He spoke softly to himself, though no one was there to hear. It must be done. Caesar must die. But what reason do I truly have? He has done nothing yet to deserve punishment. He has not abused his power. And yet, the crown, if he is crowned king, then his nature may change. Ambition may grow in him like poison. And then, who can stop him? When a serpent's egg is discovered, it must be crushed before it hatches, or else it will grow dangerous. So too with Caesar. Brutus sighed and sat heavily upon a stone bench. He loved Caesar as a friend, yet he loved Rome more. His heart was torn, but he could already feel which side was winning. As he wrestled with his conscience, a faint knock sounded at the gate. Brutus rose quickly. "Who's there?" a servant entered. "Sir, it is Cassius and others. They have come to speak with you. Bring them in," Brutus said, steadying himself. Soon Cassius arrived, cloaked against the night. With him came Casca, Decius, Cinna, Metellus Cimber, and Trebonius. They moved like shadows, whispering greetings, until they stood in a circle with Brutus at the center. Cassius spoke first. "Good Brutus, we have come as friends, bound together for Rome. Have you considered what we discussed?" Brutus looked at each man in turn. "I have. And I am with you. Caesar must fall. For though he is my friend, he may become a tyrant. Rome cannot suffer a king." The men exchanged satisfied glances. Cassius clasped his hand. "Then we are resolved." Decius asked, "Shall we bind ourselves with an oath, that none may turn back?" But Brutus shook his head firmly. "No oath!" "What need have we of oaths? Our cause is strong, our hearts are honest, and the suffering of Rome cries out to us. If these bonds are not enough, then no oath will hold us. Let cowards and liars swear oaths. True Romans need none." Cassius nodded slowly, though he had wished for the extra assurance. Metellus Cimber spoke up. "What of Cicero? He is old, wise, respected. If he joins us, our cause will appear stronger." But Brutus objected. "No, he will never follow anything begun by another man. He must lead, or he will not join at all. Leave him out." The others agreed reluctantly. Cassius leaned forward. "One more thing. Should we not strike down Antony as well? He is but a limb of Caesar, yet a strong one. He loves Caesar fiercely. If Caesar falls, Antony may seek revenge. Better to cut off the serpent's head and its tail at once." But Brutus frowned. "No, Cassius. Let us be sacrificers, not butchers. Our cause must be pure. We kill Caesar for the good of Rome, not for envy or bloodlust. To kill Antony as well would make our act seem cruel and dishonorable. Besides, Antony is but a limb, as you say. Once the head is gone, the limb will wither." Cassius sighed. He did not fully agree, but Brutus's words carried weight. At that moment, a clock struck, and they realized dawn was near. The men prepared to depart. "Where shall we strike him?" Decius asked. "At the Capitol tomorrow morning," Cassius replied. They all nodded. Then Trebonius said quietly, "I will stand close to Antony and distract him so he cannot interfere." "Good," Cassius agreed. "Every man must play his part." As they prepared to leave, the sound of footsteps came from within the house. Portia, Brutus's wife, appeared, wrapped in a light robe, her face pale with worry. She looked at the men, then at her husband. "Brutus, what means this secret meeting in the dead of night? Why do you rise so early, walk alone, and sigh so heavily? Your mind is troubled, and yet you hide it from me. Am I not your wife? Should I not share in your burdens?" Brutus tried to reassure her. "Portia, I am unwell. That is all. But Portia stepped closer, her eyes filled with tears. You are not sick, Brutus. If you were, I would see it in your body, not your mind. You are troubled with thoughts you will not share. I am your wife, your companion, the woman you chose above all others. Do you think I am too weak to hear your secrets? She lifted her sleeve, revealing a wound she had given herself in the thigh. Her voice trembled, but her gaze was fierce. See, I have wounded myself here, and I did not flinch. If I can bear this pain in silence, do you not think I can bear your troubles? Prove me worthy of the name of Cato's daughter. Prove me worthy of the title of Brutus's wife. Tell me what lies upon your heart. Brutus was deeply moved. He took her hands gently. O ye gods, give me strength to be worthy of such a noble wife. Portia, you are strong, and I will share all with you, but not now. Some business calls me away. Soon, my love, you shall know all. Before he could say more, another knock came at the gate. The conspirators tensed, but Brutus called out, and his servant entered with Ligarius, another Roman. Ligarius looked pale and sickly, a kerchief around his head. Brutus, he said hoarsely, I hear you are planning something worthy and noble. Though I am ill, I would rise from my bed and follow you to the end. Brutus smiled grimly. Come, Ligarius, let us go. What we do is for Rome's honor. And so, as dawn spread over Rome, Brutus and the conspirators prepared to carry out their dark purpose. Now we will come to scene 2. Morning broke over Rome, but it brought no calm. The air was heavy, the skies still troubled, as though the storm had left an echo of dread behind. Inside Caesar's house, torches flickered nervously in the half-light. Caesar lay restless upon his couch. 3 times in the night, Calpurnia had cried out in her sleep, startling him awake. Each time, her voice had called, Help, O Caesar! They murder Caesar! Her dreams left her trembling, her cheeks wet with tears. Now, as dawn crept in, Caesar himself felt unease, though he tried to hide it behind pride. He paced the floor, muttering, The heavens blaze forth the death of princes. Comets fall, the earth shakes, the graves yawn open, and men whisper of omens in the streets. Yet am I not Caesar? Shall Caesar fear? Calpurnia, pale but determined, came to him and grasped his arm. Caesar, do not go forth today. The heavens are not friendly, and the earth groans with warnings. Just last night, the watch reported strange sights. A lioness whelped in the streets, graves opened and gave up their dead, warriors fought in the clouds, blood rained down upon the Capitol. And you yourself heard me cry out in my sleep, My heart is heavy. Stay home. My lord. Caesar looked at her with affection, but shook his head. Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant taste of death but once. Of all the wonders I have heard, it seems most strange that men should fear death, seeing that it will come when it will come. And yet, these signs trouble me. What do they mean? Calpurnia clutched his hand more tightly. They mean danger, Caesar. Listen to me. If you love me, stay. Let Antony go to the Senate in your place. Let him say you are unwell. It will not dishonor you. Better to offend them a little than to risk your life. Caesar paused. He hated to show weakness, but Calpurnia's fear pierced his heart. Finally, with a reluctant sigh, he nodded. Very well. For your sake, my dear, I will stay at home today. At that moment, a knock sounded, and Decius Brutus, one of the conspirators, entered, smiling with false cheer. Caesar, the Senate has sent for you. They wait at the Capitol to grant you the crown. Calpurnia spoke quickly. Tell them Caesar is not well. He will not go. Decius raised his brows. Not well? Shall I tell them that? O Caesar, they may laugh at such an excuse. Caesar frowned. Say I will not come. That is enough. But Decius leaned forward, his voice smooth and persuasive. Say you will not? That may seem prideful. Say you are afraid? That may seem weak. No, Caesar, let me interpret these omens differently. Calpurnia dreamed of your statue spouting blood in which smiling Romans bathed their hands. She fears it means danger. But I tell you, it is a vision of good fortune. Your statue bleeding life into the people of Rome, that means you shall give them strength and power. The Senate will take this as a sign that you are destined to be their king. Caesar hesitated. Decius pressed harder. And consider this. If you do not go, the Senate may change their minds. They might mock you for fear, and tomorrow they may not offer the crown. Shall Caesar's enemies say he hid at home because of his wife's dreams? No, great Caesar, go forth. The Senate honors you today. Caesar straightened, pride swelling in him once more. You shame me, Decius. You have interpreted her dream better than she. Yes, it is a vision of greatness, not of death. Tell the Senate I shall come, Calpurnia cried. Caesar, but he silenced her with a firm hand. Enough, I will go. Decius smiled to himself, victory hidden behind his loyal mask. That is well. I will guide you. The Senate awaits. One by one, the conspirators began to gather outside Caesar's house. Cassius, Casca, Cinna, Trebonius, Metellus Cimber, all with friendly words, but hearts full of daggers. They greeted him with respect, bowing low, their voices cheerful. Caesar, convinced of his safety, welcomed them gladly. As they prepared to depart, Artemidorus, a teacher who had discovered the conspiracy, pressed through the crowd with a paper in his hand. Caesar, he cried, read this paper. It contains matters that touch you closely. But Caesar waved him aside. I shall read it later. And so, surrounded by friends who were secretly his enemies, Caesar set out for the capital, the fateful day unfolding just as the soothsayer had warned. Now here we be in Scene 3. The streets of Rome were already filling as the morning sun rose higher. Merchants set out their wares, children ran between columns, and senators began making their way toward the capital. But amid the ordinary bustle of the city, one man walked with a face full of urgency and fear. Artemidorus, a teacher of rhetoric and a quiet observer of politics. In his hand he carried a tightly folded paper. His fingers clenched it so hard it nearly tore. On that paper were words that, if read, could save Caesar's life. He muttered to himself as he walked, rehearsing the message. Caesar, beware of Brutus. Take heed of Cassius. Come not near Casca. Keep close to Cinna. Trust not Trebonius. Mark well Metellus Cimber. Decius Brutus loves you not. They are all against you. If you are not immortal, look about you. Your enemies are close, and your friends deceive you. Security gives way to danger. Do not go to the capital today. He stopped, pressing the letter to his chest, his eyes darting across the busy street. He knew the risk he took. If the conspirators discovered he had written this, his own life would be forfeit. Yet his duty to Rome and to Caesar weighed heavier. Caesar, he whispered, if you read this, you live. If not. His words faded. He looked up toward the direction of Caesar's approach, his face pale with hope and dread. He positioned himself where Caesar must pass. I will give this to him as he comes by. I will press it into his hand, and I will beg him to read it instantly, for it may be the only thing that stands between him and death. Artemidorus stood waiting, clutching the warning that could alter the fate of Rome, praying that Caesar would pause long enough to read. Now, coming to Scene 4. In another part of Rome, far from the noise of the capital, Portia stood at the doorway of her house. Her hands twisted together, her eyes darted up and down the street, her breath uneven. The sun was climbing higher, and she knew her husband Brutus was at the capital by now. But what he and the others meant to do weighed on her like a stone. She had begged Brutus to share his secret with her, to trust her as his wife. She had even wounded herself to prove her strength, and though he had not told her everything, she had seen enough in his troubled eyes to know that something terrible was planned. Now, alone and powerless, she trembled. She paced the courtyard, speaking to herself in whispers, half prayer, half confession. O gods, strengthen my heart. Give me patience. Brutus has a heavy duty laid upon him, and I can do nothing but wait. Oh, how hard it is for a woman to carry knowledge she cannot speak, fears she cannot ease. I know what they plan, yet I cannot tell it. I must stand here like a statue while the fate of Rome is decided at the Capitol. Her servant Lucius entered, carrying a small bundle. He looked at her nervously, sensing her unrest. "Madam, you called me?" "Yes, Lucius," she said quickly. "Run to the Senate House. See if Brutus looks well. Watch Caesar too. See what happens to him. Bring me word at once. Go swiftly." Lucius bowed and turned to go, but as he left, Portia cried after him, her voice trembling. "Oh gods, what am I saying? Why do I send a boy to spy upon matters of life and death? He is too young, too innocent. Yet what else can I do? My heart will break if I do not know." She clutched her hands together, whispering again, "O Brutus, may your wisdom guide you. O Caesar, may the heavens show mercy upon you. And O Rome, may the gods decide your fate with justice. As for me, I can only wait." At that moment, the soothsayer, the same man who had cried out, "Beware the Ides of March," passed by her door. Portia rushed to him, desperate. "Sir, where are you going?" "To the Capitol," he answered solemnly. "Do you know of any harm intended toward Caesar?" she asked, her voice sharp with fear. The soothsayer shook his head. "I cannot say exactly what will happen, but I fear something is planned. The streets are full of danger today." Portia's heart thudded painfully. She looked toward the direction of the Capitol, her lips moving silently in prayer. "O gods, keep Brutus safe, whatever comes." And with that, she stood waiting, her soul torn between loyalty to her husband and pity for Caesar as the city of Rome marched toward its fateful moment. Dear students, now we will recall some important moments across different scenes in this second act. So from Scene 1, Brutus's soliloquy. Brutus's soliloquy is crucial because it reveals his inner conflict. He loves Caesar as a friend, but fears that Caesar's ambition might make him a tyrant. He compares Caesar to a serpent's egg which must be destroyed before it hatches. This shows Brutus's patriotism and foreshadows his tragic choice. Another from Scene 1. The conspirators arrive. The conspirators meet at Brutus's house. By joining them, Brutus gives the conspiracy moral legitimacy. He refuses to swear an oath, believing their cause is just enough without it. It is also from Scene 1. Should Antony die? Cassius wants to kill Antony as well, fearing his influence. But Brutus opposes this idea, saying, "Let's be sacrificers, not butchers." This highlights Brutus's idealism. He wants to be seen as noble and honorable, but this mistake will cost them dearly later. Another moment from Scene 1. Portia's concern. Portia notices Brutus's troubled state and pleads with him to share his secret. To prove her loyalty, she wounds her own thigh. This shows the strain of secrecy in Brutus's personal life and portrays Portia as brave and committed. Now from Scene 2, Caesar and Calpurnia. Calpurnia describes many bad omens and her dream of Caesar's statue bleeding. She begs Caesar to stay home. Caesar at first agrees, showing his human vulnerability, but his pride keeps pulling him toward the Senate. Now again from Scene 2, Decius' persuasion. Decius cleverly reinterprets Calpurnia's dream, saying it means Caesar's blood will give life to Rome. He appeals to Caesar's pride by warning that the Senate might mock him if he stays home. This persuasion succeeds, and Caesar decides to go, sealing his fate. Now from Scene 3, Artemidorus's letter. Artemidorus, a teacher, writes a letter revealing the names of the conspirators and their plan. This is dramatic irony. The audience knows it could save Caesar, but fate will ensure that he ignores it. It is from Scene 4, Portia's anxiety. Portia grows restless, worried about Brutus and the conspiracy. She sends Lucius to check on him at the Capitol. She encounters the soothsayer, who again warns of danger for Caesar. This builds suspense just before the assassination. Conclusion. Act 2 is the preparation for tragedy. Brutus's idealism, Caesar's pride, ignored omens, and Portia's anxiety all create dramatic tension. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed our journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe our channel for more videos.